Hi guys, so today's presentation will be on how to find, how to multiply algebraic terms. Okay, so two simple rules you got to remember. First one, multiply the numbers. Second one, add the powers. Okay, I'll show you what I mean. So for example, let's say I had 5 times x times x times x. Okay, now as you can see, the only number I have is 5. So there's nothing to times it with. So I'm just going to write 5. Now, I can see 3 x's. Now, what I'm interested in is what's the power. Okay, so as you can see, there's no power. But when there's no power, we know these are all to the power of 1. Okay, so all I need to do is add the powers. So 1, 2, 3. So my answer is 5x to the power of 3. Okay. Let's try another one. So let's say I had 6 times x times x squared times 3. Okay, so now I've got two numbers. So I'll multiply the numbers. 6 times 3, that gives me 18. Then I know x, if I can't see a power, is to the power of 1. This x is to the power of 2. So add the powers. 1 plus 2 is 3. So my answer will be 18x to the power of 3. Okay, how about if I had, let's try another, let me show you another example. Sometimes you might see 9 times x times y times x times y times 4. Okay, so same thing, times the numbers. 9 multiplied by 4 gives me 36. Now deal with each letter separately. So first deal with the x's. So I've got x multiplied by x. Okay, so I know they're both to a power of 1. So add the powers. That's 2. So I've got x to the power of 2. And then I've got a y here and a y here. They're both to the power of 1. So add the powers. 1 plus 1 is 2. So y to the power of 2. Okay, and that is my final answer. Okay, so let's try some harder ones. So let's say I have 4x times 3xy. Now for this one, multiply the numbers. 4 times 3 gives me 12. X times x, I know they're to the power of 1 because I can't see a power. 1 plus 1 is 2, so x to the power of 2. And then there's just this y left over, so I'll just add it on. Okay, now this, by the way, this question you can write as 4 times x times 3 times x times y. Okay, and as you can see, these are just different ways of writing it, but when we're multiplying algebraic terms, we want the simplest answer. Okay, so let's try another example. Go for orange. So let's say I have 5x squared times 10x to the power of 5. Now in this one, multiply the numbers. So 5 times 10, 50. Then x to the power of 2 times x to the power of 5. Add the powers. 2 plus 5, x to the power of 7. Okay, let me try another one. Last couple. So let's say I have 20x squared y to the power of 4 times 3x to the power of minus 5 y 10. Okay, so multiply the numbers. 20 times 3 is 60. Now add the powers. So I have x to the power of 2 times x to the minus 5. So I have to do 2 plus minus 5. Plus and a minus make a minus. 2 minus 5 gives me negative 3. So x to the power of negative 3. And then y is 4 plus 10, 14. Okay, so that's my final answer. Okay, one last question. Let's say I had 4x to the minus 6, y to the 7, z to the power of negative 3 times 5, x to the power of 3, y to the power of 2, and z to the power of 1. Okay, first thing I do, multiply the numbers. 4 times 5 gives me 20. Then x to the power of minus 6 times x to the power of 3. So x to the power of minus 6 times x to the power of 3. What I have to do is add the powers. So minus 6 plus 3 gives me x to the power of minus 3. Okay, so x to the power of minus 3. Now let me deal with the y's. So I've got y to the power of 7 multiplied by y to the power of 2, which is y to the power of 9. And then I've got the z, so z to the minus 3 times z to the power of 1 gives me, add the powers, z to the power of minus 2. Okay, so that was a difficult example. That'll come in the higher paper in GCSE. But guys, I hope you understood how to multiply algebraic terms.